Hi guys. So I realized it's Wednesday and I ran the marathon on Saturday. So I'm a little late at making this video, but it's because really, honestly, it's because I didn't have any room on my phone, and I was just lazy and didn't transfer pictures over till this morning. So yeah, you can blame it on my laziness. Super nice outside, so I'm gonna sit down even though the sun will be in my face. So I did it. I ran a full 42-kilometer marathon. Technically, we ran 42.6. That was my fault because I calculated our turnaround distance as like halfway, but I forgot that between the start line and the finish line there was like half a kilometer. Oh, I was like, oh no. But anyways, so we ran it on Saturday. We started at about 6:23, and it took us to run 42. It took us 5 hours and like 1 minute and some sort of seconds. I don't know how many seconds, I forget. But I wasn't really aiming for a time. I was aiming to complete. When I first started, like training, I thought 4.5 hours, and then as training went on, I was like, probably like 5.5. So I thought it would take 5.5, but the fact that it took 5 hours, I was pretty happy with that. So yes, I will go through the bad things that happened and then the good things, because there's always good and bad to everything. So I feel like the shadow on my face is really weird, so I'm going to stand here again. So for the bad things, so we started out, and about 15 minutes in, I started getting a stomach ache. Like I didn't eat something right, or something wasn't sitting well in my stomach. And without giving too many details, it was just not a pleasant feeling, and I had it almost the entire time. There was times when it kind of went away, but it was there. Now it could just be because I woke up a lot earlier and I didn't get to do my morning routine, you know what I mean? And so I don't know if that was it, but or maybe it was what I ate the night before, because I didn't really eat the best thing. I had OPA at like 10 o'clock at night. Long story. This is going to be like a really long video if I explain everything. But it was quite a night before. We were putting up signs, and Matthew was so kind to put out these signs that I couldn't walk to because it was too far to walk. And so he went and did it on his bike. Took him like 2 hours, and then he had forgotten one of them at home, so he went out and put it out at like 11:30 at night. And he was gonna bring me home dinner, then he didn't get home till 10, and then he's like, I was like, well, I didn't eat anything, and then he went out and got me food. Anyways, he was pretty awesome, and dealt with all my craziness. So, back to the story. So it could have been a number of things, but I don't really know. I never quite experienced that when I was running. I was pretty uncomfortable. So that was fine. Another thing was a blister. I started getting a blister on my large toe, in between my big toe and the toe beside it, at like 8 kilometers, and I could feel it, and I was like, no! It was like burning. I'm like, oh my goodness. So you can only imagine it was like that the whole time. So for the rest of probably another 4 hours, it was like that. So yeah, and I had like a giant blister like that big, and another one on the other toe. But that was my only blister, so I was pretty happy with that. Another thing is, yeah, the list goes on. Another thing is that I was wearing a tank top, like a racer back, and I had my like water backpack on it. Now, I had gotten a sunburn a few weeks ago and had healed mostly. I put sunscreen on, but I had never worn my running back with this shirt before, because I've always been wearing jackets because it's so cold when I go. So, and I know you're not supposed to do something new when you run a race, but I was like, I don't know what to wear. So it ended up rubbing my skin, and it ended up rubbing some of the parts like raw. and that was really painful. So there was like a little bit of blood on my back. It was kind of gross. So needless to say, when I was done, I was like, why does my back hurt? And that was why. So I've had to put band-aids on, and that was pretty awesome sight. So that was, and then the other thing was just the pain. Like 2.5, 3 hours into it, things just start hurting that you don't realize are gonna hurt. So my hips were hurting, things like that. But that's when it's like totally in your mind. Like you just have to be like, what am I gonna do about it? There's nothing I can do except stop. But I'm not gonna stop because I've worked so hard to get here. So that was it for the really bad parts. Other than that, it was a pretty awesome experience. Like I didn't hit a wall. It was so awesome to run it with Kesha because we just like, we talked for the first part, and then the last half we kind of were like, every once in a while we talk to each other, but we were kind of just in our own minds, like motivating ourselves. Just, it was pretty incredible to just think, I remember when I said I'm gonna run a marathon, and then now I'm doing it, and this is like the moment, this is it, you know. And so that it's kind of like, you know, your wedding day, you dream about it, and then it's there, and then it's gone in an instant, and it's like, that's what it was like, and it was like gone. So not that we need to compare a marathon to a wedding, but you know, you know what I mean. So it was a really neat, empowering experience where it's kind of like you can push your body to a way that you didn't realize you had the ability to. And I would get like a flood of emotions every once in a while, because as most of you know, the run that I made, it was called Wenda's Run, and Wenda is my mother, and she's passed away, and so I was running in her memory, and so as I was running, I would have this like, when I would be like, oh my goodness, I can't make it up that hill, or I'm in so much pain, I would just feel this strength, and I know it was my mom, and that was wonderful, and I really, you know, everyone has their different feelings about where people go after this life, but I definitely felt her with me, so that was, I loved that, and so it was really neat too to have like all my friends and family at the end, like that had participated in the run, and then they were there at the finish line, and my dad was taking photos, and it was just like, it was really neat experience to share with like my close friends and family, and it felt like a race, even though it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a registered race, and we didn't get a medal at the end, but it was, Matthew actually made Kesh and I these little carvings that he's going to put on keychains. I don't have it with me outside to show you, but I thought that was really nice of him. And he, so, yeah. And then, oh my gosh, this has been 8 minutes. So, probably none of you are even watching at this point, but if you are, so after the marathon, because everyone's like, what are you going to do after? My idea was that I was just going to listen to my body. I didn't really know what to expect. So Saturday, I had adrenaline till about 7 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock hit, and I was like, whoa, I'm like really, really tired and sore. And I had been sore all afternoon, and just felt sick again, like the stomach ache. So at like 8:30, 8:45, I started getting chills, and just like Matthew was saying that it's probably like shock or something like that, so I'm not sure what it was, but I was like, I'm going to bed, I don't want to deal with this. So I took some ibuprofen or Advil or something and just went to bed. I have not slept that well in a long time. I woke up just once, and then I slept until I think like 6 or 7 the next morning, so that was pretty blissful, I have to say. And then Sunday, definitely very sore, and it was like hard to walk or hard to sit, but it felt best to move. So we went and picked up the signs, and so that felt really good to walk around, to move my body, to get that lactic acid just like moving. And then Sunday night I actually went to my friend's house and sat in her hot tub for about 2 hours. I don't know if that's, anyways, about 2 hours. And Monday morning I woke up and I'm like, oh, I can like move my body. It didn't feel, I didn't feel like broken anymore. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna be out for like a week. This is really bad, but I wasn't. So I woke up Monday morning. I felt like stretching, so I did a yoga DVD, and then just kind of took it easy. Can't remember what I did on Monday right now, but I feel like I did something. I don't know. And then Tuesday, actually I went for a run. Just a like a short little. We just went for half an hour, just with 2 of the girls in my neighborhood, and it felt good. Like I did not think I would go running right away, but I was happy to feel like I wasn't afraid. Like I didn't hate running at the end of the marathon. Like I think I don't know if that's a fear for people, but it's like you'd think, well, oh, I don't want to run anymore. But I still love to run, and I would like to just run to run. Right now, I don't need to train for something in order to run. Even though I did sign up to compete in my first triathlon in September. Side note, I don't know how to swim, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm not thinking about that for a little while. So my best friend and I, we're gonna do it. She's always wanted to do a triathlon, and I was like, I'm gonna do it with you. I was like, but you have to teach me how to swim, because I'm gonna be like way at the end doing my little doggy paddle. But anyways, this video is not about that. But yeah, so I'm feeling really good. I went to a class this morning, because I'm going to be starting to run my own boot camps for this woman, so I went and checked hers out. And yeah, I feel good. I feel like I can't really believe I ran a marathon like 5 days ago. I don't know, something like that. 5 days ago. And now it's 4 days till Hawaii. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna run on the beach. I've always wanted to run yeah, I know it's in sand, so it's harder. But I've always, in the movies where they're like, oh, they make it look so wonderful and romantic and beautiful. So I'm totally gonna do it. Might even record it. No, just kidding. No. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated on life, and maybe I'll make a video every week, just kind of keep myself accountable to moving forward and reaching goals and setting them and all that. So I really appreciate all of your support and your help along my journey. I couldn't ask for anything better. I really have appreciated it. It's really helped me to push through those hard times and to feel like maybe I'm helping one person out there. So take care, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.